Hi, thanks for watching Aquarium Tech today. Today I was going to do a special video pertaining to a little trick I had learned with sponge filters, okay? I get a lot of questions about sponge filter flow with air pumps, okay? Well, today I'm going to show you a little method for measuring flow with air pumps, okay? Now first off, let me say that usually flow with air pumps doesn't really matter. And let me tell you what I mean by that. What I mean is, with an air pump, it's highly unlikely that you're going to have too much flow, okay? Highly unlikely, unless you get like one of those Core Life Super Luft pumps, hook all four of them up to a tiny little sponge filter. I don't think you're going to get too much flow, okay? And getting too little flow probably just means you need to clean out your sponge filter, okay? So, just to get that straight, that there's not necessarily a right or a wrong flow. And it also depends on the size of your tank, you know, the air pump you're using, the sponge, and the type of sponge filter you're using. It also just depends on what you're trying to do with it and what you're trying to get out of it, okay? So, there's a lot of things that are highly variant, okay? But, you know, there is kind of a range you want to be in, but usually you can tell visually when you're getting too little flow, okay? Or too much, for that matter, too. So, usually it's visible. But, either way, I'll kind of show you something that, in a way, you'll kind of be able to have at least a somewhat decent measurement at gallons per hour, okay? Now, this isn't 100% accurate, but I will tell you it's the most accurate method I've ever learned, okay? Now, I'm not, you know, besides using like a special gallon per hour meter, but I don't have any scientific equipment like that or anything, and I'm not the smartest man in the world or anything, but, you know. Anyways, this will usually get you right about in the ballpark where your sponge filter is at. Usually your sponge filter will be doing a little bit more than what you actually get out of this test, and you'll see why, because gravity will be against it, and you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? Alright, so kind of understand how that works. So first thing we have here, as you can tell, is a 1 gallon milk jug, okay? The reason I use that is because it's really easy to measure what I get with it. It's a gallon. I know that. So, you know, it's not like a cup where I have to actually measure it or do any math. You know, I just look at it and I say half full times it by 60. Okay? So, anyways, and then I've got, what did I do with it? Here it is. I've got this, which is going to be my stopwatch, okay? And I'm basically going to hit that for 1 minute, and as soon as it hits 1 minute, I'm going to pull it off, and then that way we will have an accurate measurement, okay? And that's another reason this isn't completely accurate, because there's going to be some margin of human error in there, okay? So, and then of course, there's the sponge filter. And for those of you wondering, I will be using the ATI Hydro Sponge 5, okay? There she blows. Alright. And basically what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold the jug down in the water, and I'm going to have the sponge filter coming up. I'm going to have just the tip sticking right up out of the water, and I'm going to have the jug come under that and try to catch all that water that comes out, okay? So, let me bring this up close. Make sure this can see over me. Let me place this on a steady platform. And let me make sure you guys will be able to see this. Okay, and just to warn you guys, even though it's a big sponge, my sponge is really dirty, and it actually needs to be clean if you can't see that from the video already. And I'll show you the air pump I'm using in a second if you must know. Okay. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this jug underwater, and as you can see I have the sponge filter kind of out here. Let me see if I can't move this around so you can see it here. It's about as good as it's going to get. And I'm going to hold it under like this, and I'm going to try to have that water flow, and of course I'm going to have both of them a little bit lower in the water, okay? So let me get this all ready. Get everything exactly where I want it. And I'm going to add about a second to when I say go, okay? Because I'm obviously only have two hands here, okay? So. Alright, go. Okay, go. Yeah, that was just about a second. Alright. I don't know if you see that. You want to have the sponge filter as low to the water as you can without the container getting water in it, because obviously that will skew your test if it's getting water from the tank in it. And as if you can see here, I don't know if you can, I'm trying to lower my shoulder here, that the water just flows right out of the top of it into the container here. And like I said, it's usually going to be a little bit more than what you actually get in the container, because there's a number of errors that usually occur. So, but this is a good way to get a rough estimate. And we're coming up on a minute here. And stop. Okay. Let's put this back in. Alright, so this thing's almost halfway full. About looks like almost halfway, maybe a third, something like that, okay? According to this thing, it says about, so almost a half, so. Alright. So anyways, to conclude that, so if we were to do that, let's just say a half, to make this easy for mathematical purposes, and that's probably what it's more like, even though it's turned out as a third, it's probably more like a half, because I actually kind of slipped it once, but so we do the math, so a half a gallon a minute times that by 60, so that's 30 gallons an hour. So that's about what I'm getting at as my sponge filter right now. So but like I said, for that's honestly, that probably is a little low, but like I said, it needs cleaning real bad, and for me, I'm really bad about my sponge filters. I never replace the sponges on them. I hate, even though they're super cheap, I hate replacing them. I just have this firm belief that I never have to replace sponges until they start falling apart. So, alright, and I got the water. Alright, but anyway, so that about wraps it up for today's show. I hope you kind of learned something there. Alright, I guess that's about it. I guess that's all I really need to tell you about it. And I guess hopefully the camera captured how to do it. I have my tripod all the way up and stuff, so you can kind of get it, alright? And I think that's about it for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know, alright? Thanks for tuning in.